It was like the classic, like, can you ride a horse? I said yes. Because I was like, I'm sure I've been on a horse, or I can ride it.
At some
I'd
point
like,
in
you know,
my
you're
life.
like,
Surely
yeah.
you don't remember specifically being on a horse.
Yeah, but if you can't remember, then you probably
Say no. Say no.
Welcome to Before the Lights. If you're new here, we're a team of health professionals based in London who train people from all over the creative world to get ready for TV, film, even live shows, but most importantly, for everyday life. I'm Dave Hasty.
I'm George Ashwell.
I'm Georgia Canavan.
And I'm Josh Betteridge.
We've been lucky enough to build a pretty special group of members here at the club, so we thought it would be nice for other people to get to know some of them as well as we do.
I was like, I need to start going to the gym. So I literally got out my laptop, and was like, PT's for actors.
Welcome to Before the Lights podcast, guys. I'm Greg James. With me over here is Dangerous Dave, and here is Evil George. And today we're talking grind set.
Grind set.
It's not about mindset, guys. It's about grind set.
It was the very first time I met you when you came in and you actually had to run off and be sick in the toilet.
You feel quite vulnerable when you're kind of lying on your back with your legs up in the air because you feel sick, just breathing, and I'm like, this never happens. I'm so sorry.
So sit back, only do some exercise if you want to, and maybe even learn something about how to look after yourself. Welcome back to the Before the Lights podcast.
Hey.
Today I'm joined by George.
I am here. Yes. I'm not always here.
Well done for being here.
It's one of us.
How was your
Today's
morning?
me. It's been good.
We're earlier than normal. We're a lunchtime podcast most of the time.
So which is why we're just
As
it's
it
gonna be
stands,
chaos.
it's 10:40 a.m.
Yeah.
So I can't talk properly yet.
Yeah.
It's
It's all about balancing coffees before doing this. So normally it's like we know the routine, but today I think I've had two too early on, and now I'm going to be very chatty.
It'll be like on fast forward.
Yeah.
I will ask you what you've been doing, even though I've seen everything you've done today.
Yeah, I mean today's mainly been training our podcast guest, which
Whoop, whoop.
For a period of time, she was
Thanks.
floating in the gym solo, which concerned me, and I was sort of like,
Yes.
I just
I
came
know,
over to check. I was like,
know.
"Are you all right?"
I know.
Have
we
you seen him?
we had organised it.
I found out quite quickly that
Yeah.
you had spoken to each other, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The woman in question
Yes.
is lovely
it?
Alison Oliver.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, actually. I think I'll do a little intro because often it's nice for the listeners to know. But I think everyone knows who you are anyway, to be honest. But I think our listeners will be aware of you from Conversations with a Friend, Saltburn, Task, and the much anticipated Wuthering Heights,
Woohoo.
which I just saw the trailer for.
Yeah,
It's very exciting.
it's very exciting.
It's a bit raunchy.
It's intense.
I guess that's the
It's
story.
Emerald Fennell.
It's famously that is kind of the story.
It is,
but
Yeah.
just done in a very Emerald Fennell way.
Yeah. I'm so excited for people to see it. Like, I just think she is so cool. I just get so buzzed that I get to be in her. I've gotten to be in her films because she's just.
yeah. Didn't we trained her a long time ago?
Oh,
We-
really?
We did.
Like
Oh my God, she's
years ago. Was
Yeah.
it The Crown? Something to do with The Crown?
It was something to do when she started, just before she wrote was it the second season? Was she with The Crown, or was it?
Yeah.
Did
she's
she
in the
write?
second season.
Did she write something on Fleabag as well? Was that right?
She did
contributed on
Killing
season-
Eve.
That
she
was
wrote
it.
some Killing Eve.
Yeah, that was the one.
We'll
So
invite.
yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
formal
Anyway.
invitation to come back
She can
in
come back.
if you remember who we are.
She's such a legend. We should
We should meet her
definitely
again.
come back in here. She's
Um,
the best.
we saw you before meeting you, or I saw you before meeting you, which sounds really
I was
weird.
there as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was the
Oh.
first time.
Yeah, first time.
So we all went to watch a play that you did with Conor McNeil,
Yeah.
who's our mutual friend.
Mm-hmm.
Called
Um,
Portia
Coughlin. Yeah.
That was a harrowing play.
Harrowing experience.
We went as like a team night out. So we went not as a harrowing experience.
We
It
often
was actually a great experience. We went for all of us went for dinner.
Sorry.
And it was before we'd opened the big new version of Before the Lights, when
Yeah.
we were just in our little basement,
Yes.
which we often reference on this podcast. And it was us, Georgia, Josh, and young Josh.
And Connor had said we were like, we have to because we try and go to as many of our clients, especially if they're in plays
Yeah.
in London. We try and make it, and we're busier now and we're more transient now, so we often don't get to go as a big group. But that one was one where we were like, we'd all organised it, and we'd all got tickets, and we told him, and he was like, "Oh, are you?" And we were like,
I know.
"Yeah, of course we are." He's like, "I wouldn't say it's like a laugh a minute kind of thing," and we were like,
It's quite heavy.
Yeah,
Quite intense.
It was amazing though.
it was so good.
I know. It was really funny because it was really exciting because it was all, I think everyone in that cast, maybe bar one, was Irish, and we all were connected. Like, I think I knew everyone before we started, and because it was so intense and the play is so dark, that we were just like feral. Like, after the shows, we'd go to this pub. I can't even remember what it was called, like Hoxley and something on Upper Street.
Another one. It's like it's like the 1920s bar.
Yes.
It's like
bizarrely, that was our
but it's really close to the theatre. So
and like would all get so drunk.
I feel like that's kind of one of the best bits about
After that
a play.
show.
Like, if you get on with the cast members and you do a play, that's kind of like, there's that element of like, you go and have a few drinks after, and there's a history. I suppose it's like a big history of that in theatre, isn't it? It must be like actually one of the most fun parts of it.
Yeah, but I sort of didn't really do that on many of the other like plays I've done, but for that one, and I wasn't like, you know, every night or anything. It was mainly Saturday nights after a week of doing that play. We would all, the whole group of us would sort of like tumble down there and just be feral. Like, I have videos of me on like Chris Wally's shoulders with like, they have this fan in there, and I'm about to be like,
I'm picturing downstairs on the Titanic right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just feral Irish people,
exactly.
Isn't it?
And I think we just needed it because it was such an intense play. But bizarrely, like, some of the most, like, it was the most like fun I'd had as well. I think sometimes those things go hand in hand. Like, you have to have a sort of like payoff on the other side.
Yeah, where it kind of highlights the light when there's the dark. Like, you're highlighting the dark so strongly, so therefore the light gets
it was very
lighter.
You did a great job because it was extremely like entertaining, but as a subject matter,
the themes and
it was hard work.
Yeah.
But then to watch it, you're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
You couldn't take your eyes off it.
Oh, good.
But yeah,
good.
it was very good.
There was a period I remember in that play where everyone was on stage except for me and Connor McNeil for like 20 minutes. All the characters were on stage and we shared a dressing room, and I had some of the best conversations of my entire life. I used to look forward to it every night.
Well, he is unbelievable storyteller.
Yeah, he is.
And I think when he was on the podcast, we spoke about a couple of times where he's come in and you can quite easily get to like half an hour into the session and you haven't yet made it into the gym. And he's doing it on purpose. Like, he's manipulated the situation, but you could just kind of get sucked into like listening to it. And I'm like, I could just listen to him talk forever.
He's such an amazing person. Love Connor.
We'll fast forward to a few months ago then. So after we'd all watched you but not spoken to you.
Sounds so stalkerish.
I mean, it would be bad if we went to watch the play and tried to talk to you. That would be great. But yeah, there was a moment where you came knocking on the door wanting to train every day of the week at 7 a.m. That was, you were like, I'm here.
Gets me out of the bed.
And I'm here super early. No, it was Papa Sedu, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
it was an email. It was a very formal introduction.
I know. Me and Papa have the same agent, Lara, and I've always, so my brother-in-law now runs a gym in Cork, but he worked in a gym in London, and I used to sort of go there a bit, but I was always like so half-assed with like going to the gym. Like, I was like never fully committing to it, or like whenever I did it, it would be like really intense bursts, and I had no idea how to like mold it into my life. And I was always like trying to like find a way to, and anyway, Lara told me about you guys and was like, oh, Papa goes to this gym, and then so I think she asked him, and then he linked me up with you.
Yeah.
And then once I started coming in, it was like every time I was here, I was like, oh, there was so many people I knew.
It's a secret. It's like a really badly kept secret now. But it's nice when that happens, because then I think sometimes people walk in and they're maybe a bit like, not intimidated, but like when you haven't gone somewhere before and you're like, oh, it's this gym. And
it's like turn up to school on the first day, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And a lot of you guys will end up coming in I think was the case for you, wasn't it? It's like it's related to a job that you're doing, and there's sort of certain pressure involved with that. And then there's like always a moment where it like disarms the whole situation, where it's like two old friends will just bump into each other. Was it you? Was it you and Bella McLean that were like?
Oh my god, yeah, that was.
I feel like
so
I had
funny.
a session where I was trying to train Alison, and you guys both basically had to do like crab walk, band walking, facing each other for like 20 minutes just
to catch up.
just catching up, whilst I like gave you things to do in between and just stood next to you like, yeah, that's fine.
I think that was when I first properly met you, because she was jumping up on a box.
Yeah.
And she's so funny and full of energy anyway, that there was sort of no bother to her. Like she was like chatting away to me, like jumping up on this box.
And it felt like you guys hadn't seen each other for a while. So I was like, I'll just step back. I'll be relatively passive in this process. Can you talk a little bit about what you came in for? Because obviously it was for a job, and the story is quite interesting as to like what that job was and what the character was and what we were trying to achieve.
Yeah.
That would be quite a good way to start.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always so afraid to talk about jobs before they've come out, but I think this is fine to.
We could just put one big beep here.
Yes,
if we need to.
if we need to. The character I was playing for this job I just did, it stretches like a long period of a person's life, and that period began at her being like 18, and I'm not 18.
Yeah.
And I sort of, I guess it was more about like I just wanted to feel like I was actively working at like shaping a person, that not that I felt like she had to look a certain way.
Was it more the way you felt embodying that person?
Yeah.
Like trying to be in the right frame of mind and that kind of thing?
I think so. I mean, like we were talking about this earlier, but like sometimes it's either like voice that really like unlocks a character for me, or like a physicality or whatever. And for this, like, I mean, the script was just so amazing, and like a person really arrives towards you when you read that script, and I'd sort of imagined her in a really particular way, and the physicality of that. I mean, I didn't really even change that much, really. It was more about like just being in like a routine and feeling like I was working towards like a certain physicality that I had imagined in my head.
Yeah.
But it was also about like a lifestyle thing. Like it was also something that I had sort of hadn't really figured out for myself yet, of like, you know, like a physical exercise not being like a punishment or a chore, or like something that I do in a burst and then I sort of abandon.
Yeah.
Like I really did want to find a way to like just incorporate it into my life, and that's why I was coming in at 7 a.m. because I was like, oh, what, you know, it then actually starts to become part of your like
you get up in the morning, you're
and
into
like,
it, off you
that
go.
starts my day.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, you know, when I was in like drama school, I loved how much of a routine it gave you, you know, like, and that you knew where you had to be, and I really liked coming in early and like having all of these like a set routine, and then once you start working, or specifically when you're not working, you really have to do that for yourself. And I can be quite like scatty, and I can be quite bad at like, you know, I guess having things that I do every day or every week.
Yeah.
And
better to have that structure.
Yeah.
I think you've mentioned two things there, which I think for me are the most important reasons behind exercising in the first place. So like that kind of the routine part of it, but then just the kind of mental side of it in terms of like what it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of it, like in terms of the narrative around exercise, especially in the past, has probably changed a bit recently, but has been just purely aesthetic, and people doing something in order to make an aesthetic change, but also then having that element of like, oh, I do it to kind of like punish myself for this and that. And,
exactly.
But I think that's like, it's great to hear someone saying it sort of off their own back like that, just going, these are the reasons why I was going to do it, aside from it helping me with work, that it's just setting up like a really solid foundation
Totally.
for the rest of just life, day to day.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think when you go into, you might go into it for some other reason, but like for me, what ended up being like the main benefit was a lot of like actual mental benefits, because I didn't have that routine at all. And when I was in prep for that film, like this was actually the one consistent thing that I really relied on. And like also I sometimes go into such a hole when I'm prepping things that like when I would start this in the middle or at the beginning of the day, like I would feel really like, I guess that I had a life outside of it, like that when I would come into you, I'd like, it was also like a social thing for me, which you know, I think everyone's different, but sometimes I feel like when I'm prepping for things, I can really like isolate. And this was such a like, I really always looked forward to coming in here, because I knew that I'd feel better after exercising, but also like that I was, you know, myself, and coming in and like just seeing people basically.
Yeah. We kind of joked about it before we started really recording, didn't we? What did I call you? I called you a silent girl or something. You were like, I don't really listen to podcasts and stuff. Yeah. But it's that you'll have like go for a walk and kind of just have time to think. And I think like the gym can be the same.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like obviously there is a social engagement element of it, but doing an exercise or being on a treadmill or whatever it is, there's like, cleans your brain out a little bit.
Totally. And when you're like, when you have a million things in your brain all the time, sometimes you don't accommodate for that time, but actually it's so necessary to just like have pockets of time in the day where you're like, oh, this is just for me. And like, you know,
what's interesting as well, I think like the way we trained is so it was a lot of resistance training, which I think typically, because we weren't trying to kind of like build muscle and change the way you looked, like you said just before. It was more a case of like not tiring you out, but like giving your body like a physical load and kind of experiencing that. But it was quite interesting talking about that as a woman using weight training in that way, because there's always a narrative about like, don't want to do weights because I'll bulk up or whatever. But I think most of what you did was like resistance training, really. And it's like your experience of that as like, maybe had you done that before? Had you lifted much? Maybe you had with your brother-in-law.
Yeah. I used to go to like his classes, and there was a bit of lifting. I mean, I don't. I think I've never really like stuck at things, so I feel like I've done like bits and bobs of all of it, but there was never really too much progress because I'd always sort of stop or whatever. But so that's why this was so exciting, because like, I feel like I used to come into you after a while and I'd be like, oh my God, like I feel different, or like I can do this, you know, like things that I wouldn't have been able to do. Like that's such an exciting thing. And even if it's like a small thing, seeing any sort of progress in yourself is like,
but just being stronger.
So,
like that feeling of like the power it gives you in that sense.
Totally.
And knowing like, I think a lot of people get scared. It's like, oh, if I get stronger, I'll get bigger, and I don't want to look bigger and all the rest of it. But it's like that. No. That takes a lot of effort for that to happen. Whereas you, like what you're saying there, I guess like you've experienced that element of like, you feel the benefits of just being stronger and being more energized and all the rest of it. It's cool.
It's great. It's the best.
From what you said earlier, like the kind of like the accent side of things, because obviously like we focus a lot on like the physical stuff, and that's.
Yeah, but you did say you find like often the voice is the thing that we spoke about it in our session today that will like be the reason for going into it, like for the help for the role almost. And I mean, first time we saw you were almost in your own accent in Portia Coughlin. It was an Irish accent.
It was an Irish accent.
Close enough to home.
It was an Irish accent. Yeah.
But nothing else you've ever used your own accent, which I worked out as in recent years, which is fascinating to me. The fact that you can do accents so well, but also never do your own accent, because I think a lot of actors like get scared about doing anything other than their own accent.
It's weird. I think either it's like something people really need and want, or it's something that feels like it's getting in the way of a performance. And I've always felt like that like, because someone's accent or the way they speak is like they're you know, that's how they communicate. For me, it's always felt like a really formative part of like building a character, because, you know, your accent is you know, where you come from and how you speak. And I was even back in Cork last weekend, and I went to like the swimming pool with my mum, and we were in the miiiight, like it's like a sort of gym place, and there was two guys in the sauna, and the way they speak, like there's such a particular way people from Cork speak, especially people, like they were probably like 18 or something, and they both spoke the exact same, like in the same pitch and the same like
it is a funny accent,
words.
Isn't it? It's like a different, definitely has like a particular like
totally, like they just kept being like, oh, stop the lights, boy, like it's absolutely ridiculous, can't be dealing, like, but they both were saying the exact same word, and I just was like, oh, that's so amazing, like you only speak that way because everyone around you speaks that way. And you're that age in school at that time, and like, you know, you won't always speak that way, but and so I'm just really fascinated by it, and so it's like a huge, that's always like a really important part of it for me. But I also know people who feel like it just sort of gets in the way, and I totally get that as well. But I was saying to you earlier that sometimes whenever I've had to act or do something in my own accent, I get so embarrassed because I just feel like it's me, and I just get mortified because I'm like,
I find like you're getting in the way of yourself almost, whereas like the accent gives you a chance to get away from you and therefore embody the character.
I think so. And it's also really fun. Like I find it really fun.
Yeah.
You know, like when I did Task, and I went over to Philadelphia, like I went over a month before, and even just the whole process of like going to bars and listening to people, or, you know, and then like trying to do the accent yourself.
How do you go about doing that if you're like, there's dialect coaches that give you, because it's the shape of your mouth essentially, isn't it? Like how where you put the sound, if it's more through your nose or through the throat or whatever. If you're just picturing you sat in a bar and then like mouthing shapes and sounds and trying to like people will be like, there's this nutty lady in the corner just going ha.
Well, it's, do you know, like I feel like I'm quite bad at like when it gets too technical, I get a bit lost. Like for me, it's always just about listening to it.
Yeah.
You know, like when someone's like, "Oh, make sure you put your tongue," like I'm like, "What? I can't. That doesn't."
You
really
just
make
figure it
sense
out
to
on
me.
your own.
I just sort of listen over and over
it's
again.
It's funny things like my dad's Irish and I can't hear his accent, but everyone's like, he really has one.
Where's your dad from again?
He's from Fermanagh.
Okay.
So like,
okay.
And that's a weird sound. And I'm just like, I can't hear. I just hear him.
Yeah.
But then other people are like, oh yeah, he's got like quite clearly he has like an Irish accent. And I'm just like, I can't. I don't think I would ever be able to try and sound like him, because I just can't. In my head, it's like it doesn't register.
Yeah.
As a.
That's so interesting that you can't notice it though if you have, because you obviously don't speak like him, that you can't hear.
I do. Can't you tell?
My really strong Fermanagh.
Yeah, I generally like the only word I think I would get where I'm like it's noticeable to me is like when he says film. It's like
film.
Like, and I'm like, that's weird. That's not how that word's written. That's just a different word. But like, other than that, I'm like, it's like it doesn't.
You don't register.
I'd clearly be terrible. I'd just be on like a set. They go, right, Dave, do that. I'd be like.
Do I
film? That'll be all that comes out. You also, I think you spoke about this with George when you filmed The Order with our friend Nicholas Hoult. He maintained his American accent the whole time.
Yeah.
And did you met him as an English person, or you'd only met him as an American person?
Well, when I did that, I was like a tiny little part in that,
small.
and I was a
tiny.
small child. I know. When I came in, I think I literally was there for 2 days, and they'd been filming that for a month when I came, and so it was one of those things where I sort of arrived on the day I was filming and met him on set. But when I met him, he was in his accent, and I don't know why, but I was like, I just didn't. I don't know. I just was like, oh my God, I didn't know Nicholas Hoult was American. I always thought he was English. And I was like, God, he was so brilliant in Skins. Like, that's such a
That is such a weird casting. They bring an American teenager into like a British cult teenage drama.
I just was like, because also he does play a lot of American roles actually that I was like, oh, of course. Yeah, no, of course.
Even more impressive, he did it when he was 11 in About a Boy. That's very impressive.
I know. And then I like a fucking weirdo went home and like Googled him.
But the realization
and then I was like, oh no, he was obviously an accent. And I'm so impressed by people who can do that, like who can stay an accent on set, because I just get so, I've never even tried it, but I just get so mortified.
You just feel a bit daft doing it.
Yeah, I can't even say I get so mortified, I guess, because I haven't even tried it, but I think it's obviously must be so helpful, but I just think
we'll do the second half of this podcast. You could be English,
whatever accent,
whatever. I'll just.
But that I think the people you're talking about, i.e. Nick and other actors that you've done that with, would probably think it's equally as impressive that you can just turn it on. Because I think the reason, like I know for Nick, I mean, I went and met him on an American film once in New York, and I turned up at it was like midnight after flying in, and he was doing a night shoot. So I was like, I'll just come down to set. Mm-hmm. And I met him there, and first time ever, same situation, where he just met me in American accent, and I was like, you're joking.
Did he explain it?
No, he never explained it.
You were like, wait, how long have you been here?
Yeah.
What's happening?
No, what's happening? He literally started talking to me, and I was like I thought it was like being pranked or something. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's me. We can just talk like we normally talk. He kept going, and I was like,
oh my God.
And I was like, oh, you're doing the thing. He's like, yeah,
yeah, I have to.
But I know for a fact he would be like, I have to do that.
Yeah, and also I imagine if it's something that you do, like, then you probably get a bit superstitious about it. You're like, if I drop it, then I'm,
like you probably are getting better and better.
I'll never go back.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you're probably developing that skill so much that you could if you wanted to now, but now you're stuck in that, like, I have to do it every time. Yeah.
Totally.
It's a good way to work into talking about Saltburn, because obviously in that it's like you're very English.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in that film, like, because it was such a big. It kind of like took over the internet for a period of time, didn't it?
I know.
What was that like? What was that like, just as an experience? Had you had anything like that before, where all of a sudden it's like everyone was talking about it because there was certain scenes and everyone, you guys that were all in it, are kind of just like.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't experienced anything like that before at all, and it is always a really interesting thing where, like, when you're making something, like, it's very private, like, you're, and we were just like in that house for a summer, and you never ever know how something's going to be received, and so when it does have a bigger reaction or whatever, like, it does just take on a life of its own, and weirdly you don't feel as like, or at least I didn't feel sort of as involved in it, if that makes sense. Like it sort of becomes its own thing, and sometimes
because I guess once you've done the job, it's finished.
Yeah,
there's a bit of the press. There's like the press element of it.
Yeah, and then it just goes off and it becomes its own thing, and that's always like it's like a funny thing to watch it do its thing. But I just had like the best time making that movie. It was so much fun, and so it's always just lovely when other people like enjoy it as well. But it was mad. It was mad to see like that sort of.
Was there any element of like
response.
Once all the press and everything starts for that? Was there any kind of pressure? I know that sometimes people then feel like pressure to be like, oh, I've got to be presentable's the wrong word, but like. To then start training and start working out in those like mad sprints like we kind of talked about before, where you're like, I've got to do this for like 6 weeks, but it wasn't a case of like feeling like that, which is good.
Not really, no. Actually, when that film was coming out, it was during the writer's strike and the actor's strike. So at the beginning of it, we weren't doing any. That was actually when I was doing Portia Coughlin as well, and so once I did I was doing a little bit of press for that. No, I didn't really feel that way, and funny enough, like, I looked so different, I
was about to say, I didn't realise Venetia and Portia were the same person, because we came and watched that, and then I watched Saltburn. I had literally, I think I typed in cast, and I was like, swear I've seen her before. And then I saw that you're in I was like, holy shit, it's the set. But that's, again, accent, the way you look, the way you hold yourself, the character itself. But genuinely, I thought you were two different people.
That's mad.
That's
but that was the thing. That was the funny thing I actually really felt with Saltburn, was like, for any of those like events or things like that we went to, one of my best friends, Archie, who's in Saltburn as well, like we'd sort of go around together, and we did a lot of that just together. And
a lovely man to have to spend time with.
Oh my god, he's
Archie.
the best person. And like, people would come over and be like, oh my god, Archie, like, I love Saltburn so much and stuff. And then he'd be like, Ali's in it as well. And people would be like, oh, like, who'd you play? Which I actually love, like, which was actually really funny.
That's a compliment. That's a big compliment.
But yeah, so I kind of felt that also made me feel part of like that thing earlier we were saying of like, when it took on a life of its own, I sort of felt like...
You're a bit distant.
Yeah.
You kind of had the best of both worlds there then.
I guess, yeah.
You get to kind of be in it, be part of it, and then not have to deal with the walking down the street, people grabbing you and wanting to talk to you about it all the time.
Exactly.
I mean, Archie's screwed for that because he's like 9'5".
Yeah, and the best, he's so good at talking.
Yeah.
He can't
so
hide.
Good at talking.
He can't hide. I bump into him in like, it's always cycling somewhere. And like, we'll just end up on the street next to each other. It's happened like 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, London's a big place.
Yeah.
But it keeps happening. And we're like, hello again. I've always got a helmet on every time I talk to him. Wuthering Heights, I reckon, has the potential for that to kind of happen again. Obviously, there's like Emerald Fennell again.
Yeah.
Jacob Elordi's in it, which must be quite cool, going from like, it was a little while ago that Saltburn came out, but it must be nice to come back into a world where like people that hopefully, I assume you all got on.
Yeah, otherwise. If it was, I've never done like a returning TV show or like a season, but it was like the closest thing I felt to like season 2.
Like
because
like you turn up on day 1 and everyone's like, hey.
Yeah, because we did a read through for Wuthering Heights, and it was a lot of the same crew, like same hair and makeup people, and then it was obviously Emerald and Jacob and Ewan Mitchell and
Shazad Latif, who comes here but wasn't. He's like our connection to it.
Yeah.
Who's amazing.
Who wasn't in the first of the sequels.
Wasn't
in the first season.
It gave us a feeling of being like, oh, we're in it as well.
Yeah. But yeah, that was so nice to come back, and especially like work with the same director again. You've such a quicker like shorthand, and I just love the way like Emerald, more than anyone I've ever worked with, like really does like literally create a world. And when you arrive as an actor, like you just step into this other universe that she's literally crafted from her head. Like she has the most insane imagination and brain, and so it's like she always knows exactly what she wants to make, exactly what she's trying to say. And that's I always find such a like reassuring or lovely thing as an actor, because she just creates this imaginary world and you just like step into it. Like it's so fully formed when you get to set that it's like it's not difficult to imagine or pretend, because it's so alive and real and specific, you know.
Great experience to be able to have that. We would have met you then, like, so Wuthering Heights, because that would have finished and then you came in to join us, because we'd been training Shazad before and during.
I know.
So there was periods of time where you guys we realised in the gym one day where you guys were like, had been together up in Yorkshire somewhere for a chunk of time.
Oh my God. So funnily enough, before we went up to Yorkshire, because we filmed a good bit of it in like studios in London, and I remember one day a few of us all went for afternoon tea, and he arrived with like this huge gear bag and like sprinted in the door. I was like, sorry, or he was always like running like from the gym, and I always was like, what is this gym you're like running from all running the away time from us. But then we had this. So all of the sort of exterior stuff that we shot was on the moors, like in Yorkshire. But me and Shazad like only had like 2 or 3 scenes like actually outdoors. So, but they bring you up there for like weather cover or whatever. So we were staying in this hotel like in the moors for a week, but had like two scenes. So me and were just like in the bar for like a week, and like people would all come home from like working out and like there's like
could be pretty
beating
bleak out
wind,
there,
like
yeah.
whatever, and we'd just be there with like
Cheers,
Next
guys.
to a fire,
martinis,
pint of ale.
like, being like,
I love that.
Everyone, like,
You were putting in the
we had
work. It's
best
important. It's
time.
important. work.
Yeah.
You were there for morale.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you're
We were like the welcoming.
You're like cozy grandparents.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming home and you're just there a little bit drunk.
But I love him so much.
He's the
He's
best.
the best, and he's so amazing in the film.
So after we trained for the project that
The
we
project.
were all working on together, you went to Budapest after you'd done that big chunk. So there was that a very different experience, because obviously then when you were over there, that was quite full on, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You weren't just sitting in a cozy pub having a drink.
No. And I was like, I'd done a few, I feel like I've done a few years of like playing supporting parts and kind of popping in and out and really like enjoying that. And I hadn't, this was like the first lead I'd played in a quite a while. And like, I was so nervous about that, because it is like it. I definitely feel like it is a different responsibility, and like
There's more resting on your shoulders there, isn't there?
yeah,
It's a different
definitely.
job.
It is a different job, and like and especially with something that, you know, like I just really, really cared about and really wanted to do like my absolute best. So it was intense, but it's like it's a different thing as well, because you don't feel like you step out of it really, which is very helpful. You know, like I remember when I was doing Task, like there was times where, because there's so many different storylines, at one point I had like a month off, and I remember like the days coming up to when I was going back in, I was like, oh fuck,
It's like a back to school,
I
type
was like,
feeling.
oh my god, and you like really have to re-find it.
You went down to like a Phillies bar,
Yeah.
and you sat and just watched people for a few days.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas with this, you sort of with the job that I just did, like I feel like I really didn't leave it ever. Like it was really my life.
Was it quite
that
full on in
time.
terms of like the schedule and stuff? Did you have time for yourself? Because I think something that we often do is like, I can't remember if we did any of like, occasionally we'll do like online check-ins with people and just do like a bit of training. But often if there's like, sometimes
I
the
was
schedules.
going, thinking like as in check-ins, like how are you
you?
doing?
I mean there was
that
a bit
as
of
well,
that
but-
via
yes.
text.
Yes.
So there wasn't
It
Yeah.
ticks that box though.
Yeah.
There's always 10 to 15 minutes of that at least.
Yeah,
But there's
Good chat.
often like what we hear when people come back, where it's like there's the workload. Obviously, there's a lot of financially riding on things. There's a lot of time. Things need to be scheduled, and as
Yeah.
the lead, it can be like, right, there's X amount of work that needs to be
Totally.
done, and you aren't often left like much time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have things in that environment where you try and like maintain, I don't know, like giving yourself a minute in the morning to kind of go for a walk or that kind of stuff from a physical perspective?
I think I in the beginning like tried like walking, like I think I was living near City Park in Budapest, which
It's
is
a great
really,
city to walk
really,
around, isn't it? It's
yeah.
an amazing place.
And I think I tried to do like a few jogs, and then I was like, I'm really tired. So I would just like, do a little walk here and there. But I think a lot of it actually is about like preserving your energy as well. So like sleeping as much as you
It's important to make to acknowledge that. I think because often people then have, and we spoke about it actually on the last podcast we recorded, that was like the sort of pressure to maintain doing something.
Yes.
When like quite a lot of the time you get to a point where it's kind of counterintuitive. It's more important to just kind of step back and go, energy is the main thing.
That I think that's it. That's what you start to feel is like actually like anytime I can rest, I should just rest.
And often people feel like quite a lot of guilt with resting, and then it's really important that then when you are in that position and you feel it, that you need it.
Totally.
That is what you need, and you've got to listen to your body and not force yourself into kind of doing
It's
stuff.
also like appreciating and celebrating the fact that you've put the work in beforehand that's led to you being able to do this job as well as you are doing it.
Yeah.
And actually maintaining that is more pressure than it needs to be. It's actually like, okay, I might fall off a little bit. I might get slightly less fit throughout this job, But what I've actually done is I've climbed the mountain before I've got here, and I put myself in a position that I can concentrate for the whole day. I'm not feeling dead on my feet, all those things. So actually like celebrate that and like be like, oh, well, I've actually achieved something there.
That's so true, that you sort of build yourself up to be able to carry yourself through it.
You've given yourself the opportunity to not have to train throughout it. Basically. Because you put the work in already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I did tell you, because I'd worked in Budapest a couple of times, and I was like, there's this amazing like health club, sign up to it. It's just the other side of the bridge. And then she was like, I'm actually staying here, so it's quite far away. And I haven't done that yet. And then I was like, okay, it was an amazing like one of the classic old baths was right near you, which you did actually go to a couple of times. That's really fun.
I did go there.
Because you're there with just a bunch of like 60-year-old Hungarian people, and it's really nice. And then there was like a couple of restaurants, and you were like, "Yep, I've been to all of those. Yeah, I've done all the restaurants."
I know. It was when I came back. You were like, "So, did you sign up to Oxygen?" I was like, "Absolutely not." No.
Hanging out with my old man mates and
I'll
go schnitzels.
Yeah.
But what I want to know now is like, now you're back. So we've there's the two sides. You've found the benefit of the exercise and the routine, but as we've just spoken about, you also have a love of the cozy pub.
Yeah.
And are we now going to see an Alison that maintains both? That's what we're after.
That's the goal.
Dream.
That's the goal.
That's peak living.
Shazad Latif is the perfect example of that.
Well, we played football on Monday, me and Shazad.
Oh, did you?
He came in and he was like, "Have we got any subs?" So I was like, "Nah." And he's like, It's a pretty heavy weekend." And for those who don't know, he's really, really good at football. And I was like, "Well, we need you. So like, you better have energy by the time we start running around." Which he did. He did manage it.
That's so nice that you play football together.
Do you want to come?
You can come.
I don't know how to play football.
You don't have to. It doesn't matter.
We're not a serious team. No, it's just a bit of fun. But I like to see now, you're going to be in the gym. We're part of the routine.
Yes, exactly.
But we can also be part of the pub routine, which we have been by accident one time. Where we bumped into you in the back of the Devonshire.
Yeah, that was I think the only time I've been
I
there.
was training you at 7 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
And it was 11 p.m. and we both looked at each other in a pub going, "Shall we cancel?" Yeah. It was like, it was almost good that we were both in the same room at the same time, so that it wasn't one of us letting the other one down. It was just like a
That was
mutual
Superman
agreement.
Premiere after party. So we were there with Nick. So then you saw Nick again for the first time in ages as well.
Yes.
I was doing that classic
pub
thing
is
of
like popping off.
Oh yeah, it was great.
It's so I don't.
As Irish people, Dave, you can be.
I've
Irish.
got the passport.
You've got a passport.
I don't have the accent.
How do we feel about that pub? Do you feel like it's like appropriating, or do you feel like it's like just like a weird?
No, I think it's great. I think it's great, and most of I think I've only maybe been there twice, but most of the staff are Irish.
And the guy that founded its first name is O'Sheen.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
So he's just very good at his job, and he's brought it over to Ireland.
The back bit of that pub was sort of in the middle. It's like you can be stuck in there. I was trying, when I saw you, I was trying to leave.
It's hard to leave.
And I think it took me like another 2 hours to get out, because I was just like really trying to sneak out, thinking that I've got to see Alison at 7 a.m.
But it's really that, I think that's probably why it's called an Irish exit, is because those pubs are so hard to leave.
Yeah, you have to
that
go out
you
the back
just
door.
actually
You
just have to
go.
You have to tell one person.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I've really started doing them actually,
great.
and I used to feel really ashamed because I just felt so bad. but I think
because you're looking out for your best interests, and we just
and other people's like
and other people.
Yeah.
You're like,
at our wedding, I was like, please, if
yeah.
anyone wants to leave, just don't tell me.
You just
Just go. I'm cool with it. I've got
gets
loads
it.
of other friends here.
Yeah. And like, you know, everyone else is going to be like when you're doing the like goodbyes or whatever, you're like, the person that you're probably having a really long goodbye with, like they're probably not wanting that from you either, you know.
Everyone
like
wants to go
they're
home.
probably like,
we're at a stage in life where
everyone wants to go home.
Everybody wants to go to bed nearly all the time. So we should stop talking to each other and just leave.
My friend does this really amazing thing. Well, she sort of does it when she's telling a story and it's not going how she planned. Like, she'll just stop and be like, "I'm happy to leave that there. That's all right." And like, she's quite good at it with goodbyes as well. She's like, "I think we should stop."
Yeah. That's what I'm going to start doing now. Although I'm quite blunt in general, so I think that's probably I'm doing it by accident anyway. It seems like this conversation is now a very good point where we should bring in Humbled in Hollywood.
Okay, yeah.
Which is our section where it's like all the things we've spoken about so far sound quite like exciting, quite cool. Like you've been in Philly learning how to mimic the accent, Saltburn, all the rest of it. And from the outside, that life can be quite like, seem quite perfect.
Yeah.
But we like to get people to share stories, sometimes health and fitness related, but often not, of moments that are a little bit humbling, like a dose of reality type thing. Have you got anything that's that fits the mold?
I feel like when you said this to me, I was like, I have so many things that I can't say. It's just so terrible. But one recently that came to me was like, it was like the classic, like, can you ride a horse? I said yes. Because I was like, I'm sure I've been on a horse. I can ride it.
At some
like,
point in
you know,
my
you're
life.
like,
Surely
yeah.
you don't remember specifically being on a horse.
Yeah, but if you can't remember, then you probably.
So no.
I think if I couldn't remember, I'd be like, no,
Definitely
I can't.
No, I can't. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure I have. And like, it was like a 2-second walking on a horse scene like that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure that's fine. And then I texted my mum and I was like, have I been on a horse before? And she's like, well, you've been on a donkey. And I was like, okay.
You go back
I'm
to
sure
production and
that's
be like,
fine.
oh, it wasn't a horse, by the way, it was a donkey.
But I sort of was like, oh, it'll be fine. And they were like, we'll do a lesson or two anyway. And I was doing a lesson in Budapest and it was sort of fine. Like I was not great at the beginning and then it was kind of fine, but it was like quite gentle. Like the horse was really gentle and the trainers were, and they were Hungarian, and so my friend was like translating and it was all like kind of fine. And I did 2 lessons and I was like, oh, that would be grand. And that was before we started filming, but the scene that we were doing it was in England because we finished shooting in England.
And those horses don't speak Hungarian.
And those horses don't speak Hungarian.
That's a problem.
So I was like, totally forgot about it, like whatever. Got to England the last leg at the filming and they were like, okay, so we're just going to do like a quick, like sort of, not like test, but like, you know, let's just do another, I guess, lesson to see how a refresher, exactly. And I was like, yeah, great, whatever. And then
still not doubting your ability at this stage. Yeah, you're like, got this.
I was like, yeah, fine.
Donkey, horse, same thing.
Totally fine. And then I arrived and like got on this like horse and it just like wouldn't move. And then I was like, they were like, oh, so like just, yeah, you go ahead, like go, start walking on the horse or whatever. And like what I remember in Budapest is like I would just squeeze your legs and then it would start moving. But this horse, I was like squeezing my legs, it like wasn't moving, and the horse was quite like punk, like it had quite like teen angst energy, it was quite like show me what you could do sort of thing. And I was like, oh fuck, like and they were like, oh, I thought like you knew what you were doing.
So you're just sat there just squeezing your knees,
and it just
and they're like, that's it, that's all I've got.
Wasn't moving.
Is it a bit like left-hand drive, right-hand drive? Is it like in Budapest you squeeze, but in England you pull?
Well, I think it was basically like, and it totally my fault, like totally me just like not knowing how to ride a horse. Like that was basically it. Like it's so not. It is like learning to drive a car. Like it's not.
I definitely,
easy.
Having sat on a donkey, would not sell someone. Yes, I know how to ride a horse.
I don't know why I was so confident. Like I don't know where that confidence is coming from. But then they were like, no, you have to do. They were like, you have to be tough with it. Like you have to show it who's boss. And so like, I was like, oh yeah, no, of course. And they were like, you have to kick it. Like you have to kick the horse with the back of your legs.
I've seen that when people do like the little,
to get it to move or whatever. And I just kept saying over and over again, like, it wasn't like this in Budapest. And they were like, what was it like in Budapest? And I was like, I don't know, but it was more gentle. And they were like, well, just give it a kick and show it who's boss. And
this sounds so mean.
And I kept going. And I kept going. I kept going like this. Okay. And then I was like this. Come on.
I'm the boss.
I was like, come on. And then I kept going, please.
Was the scene? Is the scene been cut?
No, I don't. I hope not. Because then I was like, please. And they were so like nice and patient with me, but I was just terrible. And then we got to filming the scene, and like even in the rehearsal, I was like, like just sort of bargaining with the horse, being like, please, like I'll do anything.
What is it they love? Is it polos? You're just giving him loads of polos.
Oh God! Oh yeah.
Caramel stick.
That could have been.
I didn't have any polos on me, but anyway, you forget that all those horses as well are trained for film. So like, I was so nervous, and then they shouted a big action, and then the horse is just like goes.
So he was just like basically going, "I'm not wasting my time."
Yeah, he's like, I'm
I don't need to practice.
I guess the thing is that like they will go for people who, like I think it literally is that like you have to be like the leader, and they match your energy. So they're like, you don't know what you've only been on a donkey, so I'm not moving for you. So yeah, that was quite mortifying, but
we need to do a day on horses.
Yeah,
we have a guy that comes here who's a ex polo player.
Oh really?
And has suggested that we all go learn how to play polo. So I don't know whether to invite you now, to be honest.
You probably
We'll stick you on a donkey, and you'll just, you could just like shoot around in the background.
I need to find out what donkey I was on as well. That's a whole other story that I don't really...
Donkey? I used to train a bunch of show jumpers, but for their like physio and physical side of it, not for like specific horse stuff. But they had a bunch of horses, and they were like, we're going to go down to the lake. Like, do you want to jump on a horse with us? And I went, no. So just the image of 6 of them on horses and me on a mountain bike behind them. But I'm coming, and the horses are fast. I'm like, Jesus, it would have been a lot easier on a horse, probably.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I was like, I can't do that. I was honest. I said, no, I can't ride a horse.
I know, it just teaches you not to lie. I didn't lie. I was more confident than I should have been.
Yeah, you just bent the truth a little.
I just bent the truth.
Yeah.
It's very good.
What's coming up next for you then? What's happening? Well, no, that's almost the end of the year now. But what's happening?
I know.
I guess Wuthering Heights is coming out.
Wuthering Heights is coming out.
Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day.
That's going to be fun.
That's going to be really fun. I'm a new aunt, so I'm doing a lot of that. I'm back and forth to Cork a lot, and which has been really exciting. But yeah, I think there's like a couple of things in the new year, but I actually am just really enjoying like being home with my family now, and
yeah, that's such a good time to be back.
Yeah,
especially like Christmas coming up and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it's so nice. I found this has happened quite a bit where for some reason or another, once I finish a job, there's always something happening at home or in Cork, and it's been this nice thing that usually when I finish something, I go straight back to Cork, and that's so lovely because you just like totally come home to yourself or totally come home to your family, and so I'm hoping to like spend a bit of time there, and then see
back to work next year.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very, very much for
Alice,
giving us the time, because I know you are literally going back today. To go snap into auntie mode.
I know.
What accent's the aunt gonna have? Or is that just you?
What
yeah. Everyone's like,
my God.
Everyone's like, why are you...
an auntie accent.
Yeah, they're like, what's happening?
For the child's entire life.
That would be so
Just
good.
really mess up the child.
Yeah, you'll get really confused as well. Yeah, that'd be great. Please do that.
Oh my God.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming on and giving us the time. But you can get back into being an auntie now. And this is our final episode of 2025.
Yeah.
Which has been the most consistent we've ever been with this podcast.
Yeah, well, we've finally got a room to do it in now, which is helpful. So we can actually do it in and around our work.
What I'd actually like, producer Jimmy, if you can cut together me asking George, Josh and Georgia how they are. Because it's basically every time they go like, I've been with you all day, I've got nothing to say. Today it's myself and Georgia.
Hi.
Georgia, what have you been up to today?
Training.
Working and training. That's good. Good
I
to
don't know
hear.
why I'm whispering.
Yeah. Can you go any louder than that?
No.
Today, George is with me.
I am.
George, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
What have you been up to?
I always find these introductions of me really weird.
It's good,
yeah.
but it's not always you. Sometimes
it's not always
Josh,
me.
sometimes it's Georgia.
But when I'm in here, it's always me, so it feels weird for me.
That's getting really deep now.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I've got Josh with me today. How are you, Josh?
Good afternoon. I'm alright. I'm just on the.
So happy to be here. The worst conversation ever.
We really
That's so
forget that
good.
Dave's asking that we're not. This isn't just for Dave. So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
goes,
yeah,
"How have you
yeah,
been?"
yeah.
It's like I literally told you that.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
5
yeah.
minutes
Why are you
ago.
asking
Why
me
are
about
you
it?
asking
play the part. Play the part. But yeah, so it's the last one we're going to do for the year. It's been great fun. And we are in the process of pinning down more
Lots of
actors
cool, yeah.
for next year.
And we
Not
should
just
have
actors,
some returning.
writers, musicians,
Oh my
all sorts of
God,
creatives.
amazing.
But it's hard work, you know. We've been trying to get this in the diary for a little while.
I
haven't
know. I'm glad we have though. It's
You've
been
had fun.
so nice. Loads of fun.
Maybe we
Loads
could
of
get
fun.
you. You could do an advert now for future guests. You can say how great it is and
Oh
why
my
they
God.
should come on. This is the Before the Lights podcast, and Alison Oliver says you should do it. There you go.
I'd recommend to everyone to do it.
Try not to sound like I'm holding a gun at you.
I'd recommend everyone to do this. It's really fun and I've had a really nice time. Thank you for having me.
Perfect.
okay?
I think that's it. That's it. We'll see you next year.